With Charlie Wooton and from Royal Southern Brotherhood at the Waanee Festival. And he's going to take a few minutes to answer a few questions for the fans. How you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing wonderful.
Appreciate you taking the time. First question I have for you is, how long have you been professionally touring?
Oh, that's interesting.
Charlie Carrier does.
Yeah, I mean, I toured since I was 19. Now I'm going to tell you my age. So that's been like 23 years, 24 years.
24 years, okay. Yeah. In all the years you've been touring, who was your favorite band other than your own to tour with?
Oh, Chubby Carrier had to be, because it was my first, and he really taught me. He taught me the ropes, man. And it was a Zydeco band. I was 19 years old. I'd never done it before. We did all of Canada, Hawaii, and it was just a really fun band. You know, you never been out there like that. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. I'd never been anywhere, you know. So we went to Iowa to go to Canada. I mean, it was awesome.
Excellent.
I'll tell you a really cool story about that. You know, I grew up in a very segregated area in Louisiana. All Louisiana was. And I remember being in Canada, and the washboard player, Kevin, who was black, was talking to a white girl, and I ran over and said, "What are you doing? Are you going to get us knocked out of here? Or are they going to kill us?" I said, "No, man, it's okay in Canada." So my point is, being 19, growing up in a society where that wasn't accepted, to go to one that it is, was awesome. For some people it might be awful. For me it was awesome, because I didn't like that part of where I grew up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I grew up in upstate New York, and it was the same way.
Right.
It's a totally different world than down south was at that time.
Right.
Very good. Out of all those years of touring, what's your favorite venue to play in?
Oh, well, my favorite venue to play is Northside Tavern in Atlanta, Georgia. And that wasn't from touring, really. It's from living in Atlanta and playing there first Friday every month for 12 years. And so, yeah, that's it, man. I love that place.
All right. Next question. If your entire music collection got wiped out, what would be the first album that you replaced?
Wow. Paul Simon's Essential Hits, if I can have the greatest hits, man.
There you go. Okay. When you're on stage, does your arm ever feel like it's going to come off?
Oh, sure. If I haven't been practicing.
Selfie!
There you go.
My bad.
Awesome.
Gotta have it.
Waanee!
What was the question?
The question was, does your arm ever feel like it's going to come off?
Yes, if I haven't been practicing.
And then what do you do about it?
Change techniques.
Okay. Alrighty. Next question. You guys were on the Rock Legends cruise 2 years ago, and you're going back again.
Yes.
And how do you like being able to go out and mingle with the fans for 4 days? And
oh, that's wonderful. You know, because I'm a fan too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So if I'm on a cruise like that, there's people I want to hang out with and see. You know, so you know, just humble down and know that we're all one and together. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about it. Another thing about growing up in Louisiana, when you played a Zydeco gig or a Cajun gig, the band and the dancers are all the same. No one clapped at the end of the song. They just waited for you to start playing again so you could dance. We're all one. It was no difference. So on a cruise like that, where everybody can hang out and just be together, that's what it should be like. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Next question. Living or dead, somebody that you've never played with, who would be your goal person to jam with?
No, Jaco Pastorius. Or Joe Zawinul, probably. I really love Jaco, but Jaco introduced me to Joe Zawinul, who's my favorite writer, and everything he did. You know, everything he did before Jaco and after Jaco was with him, I love. You know, I would like to meet Jaco and hang out with him, but I would love to play with Joe Zawinul.
Okay. Your manager is, in our opinion, one of the hardest working managers in the industry. And I know he runs you guys ragged, but I've heard he's like family to everybody that he represents. Is that true?
Oh, sure, yes, absolutely. Definitely. You know, I met Ruben 2 years before I moved to New Orleans, and I told my wife I'm going to work with, when we moved to New Orleans, I told her, I'm going to work with Ruben Williams, I'm going to work with him. And I just kept telling her that, and he came over to my house and hung out and heard my music and loved it and said, I'm not sure what to do with you, you know, but we kept keeping in touch, and yeah, man, he's awesome, and he cares. He really does. He loves the music. He loves everything about it. You You know what I mean? It's cool.
That was the other thing that I heard, is that he treats everybody like he cares. As a matter of fact, the last person that said that was Samantha Fish, and she's fairly new in the stable, so to speak.
Sure.
And that's what she said. He cares.
Right.
And that was.
Well, he better care about her, because I got a big brother syndrome with her. So.
I think I do too. We really like her a lot. She's awesome. She's the girl next door meets Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Right.
Really awesome. Last question and hardest question. What question would you like to answer that nobody ever asked?
Question I like to answer that no one ever asked. Wow, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
We've had some late night talks about things like that.
But a question no one's ever asked that I would like to answer. I keep, what comes to me right now is the when I was younger, everything came from here, and then as I got in my 20s, it came here, and it just kept moving down. And as I got sober and okay with myself, the groove moved into my gut, and that's where it comes from. I don't know how to answer that, because I don't know how to tell you. It's just a feeling. So the question would be where it comes from, but it's really the answer I want to give you, but it's all the same, isn't it?
No, that was perfect. The question would be, where does your music come from?
Right.
And it would be, it started in your head, went to your heart, now it's
really
in your gut.
it's I wish I could show you rather than tell you, because I can't tell you, but it's a beautiful feeling.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Charlie, thank you very much for interviewing, and we'll send you a link when it's up, and we're going to tie it in with the pictures from tonight's show.
Cool.
And thank you again for taking the time.